What's up, kids?
What's up?
Welcome back to Snackcast,
What's going on?
episode 2 of Gateway Drugs. We won't get into it, what they are. We'll just dive right in, right?
Yep. See your doctor, talk to your naturalist, your PhD, blah, 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 blah. Here's a disclaimer. We are not doctors, but we play one on Snackcast.
And I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night.
Right.
So what's on tap today?
Acid reflux.
Ooh, this is close to your heartburn.
Oh, you had a pun.
No, but you've dealt with this.
Yeah. I hate with a passion these drugs.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that they are misused both by the physician and by the patient. And again, I put this on the patient. The patient has a duty to see to it that their health is improved. But again, I go back to, like, we'll talk about it later. A lot of these drugs are not meant for long-term use, right? But yet the physician keeps cutting that RX, right? When does the physician throw down the gauntlet and say, Scott, if you don't fix this issue within the next 60 days, I'm not giving you another prescription. You'll have to find a new physician.
Well, I think this one really does epitomize that gateway drug scenario where the body is screaming at you that, hey, something's wrong. And I think in large part you can tie it back to the transition of our culture and society away from whole foods and into processed foods.
Yep.
You mentioned a little earlier the potential for sugars to react, and we can get into that in a minute. But yeah, this is one of those where the body is literally like almost tapping out. I don't mean dying, but the body's going, I need you to listen to me.
This is right. Extreme. I mean, there's very few times when the body cries for help like this.
Right.
And literally minutes or hours after you put something into your body, that your body is screaming at you that you did something bad.
Right.
Right. There's a few cases where you've had an injury, you have a hiatal hernia, which was caused by an injury, not by food. Caused by an injury or something, and there might be a surgical fix or something regarding that can go on, but for the most part, I would tell you it's what you're eating.
Absolutely.
I was making a joke earlier about, did this stuff go on, 100 years ago? And the reality is it wasn't talked about. It's a multi, how many billion is this now?
So I did look it up. This is 2015 data. And this is specifically, I guess there's two different types, but proton pump inhibitors.
PPIs.
Including Prilosec, Nexium, and Prevacid, right?
Your us and my brothers is alls.
Whatever you
can't even
just said.
Say it.
No, they are one of the most, this is from NPR data June 2015. These PPIs are among the most popular medicines in the world with sales of $14 billion a year. Roughly 20 million Americans now take the drugs.
So we do a lot of data.
That's 2015 data.
We do a lot of data analysis around here, and I can tell you that to generate $14 billion in sales, that's not a lot of one-offs. That's not a lot of, I took it for 30 days, fixed the problem,
right? And
I'm better. It's, I got on this drug, and I didn't come off this drug. Right? So we've talked a lot about the side effects of drugs, and the ones here are astronomical, right?
Oh, well, if I may, before you dive into the regular stuff, this same NPR article, the whole point was the title of it, Data Dive Suggests Link Between Heartburn Drugs and Heart Attacks. The article goes on later to say 16 to 20% increased risk of a cardiac event, a heart attack.
Where's the outrage? Where's the alarm? Where is?
You know what's not on the warning label?
Where's the Hippocratic Oath? Right?
Well,
doctors Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. Well, I'm not actually doing the harm, Scott. I'm allowing you to do the harm.
And if it's harmful, it's on the drug manufacturers, right? It's
right. Yeah. But yeah, PPIs are horrible. Headaches, diarrhea, constipation, dry mouth, vitamin deficiencies is probably the biggest one that there won't be listed as a side effect.
But especially when you're already eating poor enough to get this condition.
Right.
So you're probably already deficient to begin with.
Double whammy, right? And the two vitamins that obviously pop out with these are vitamin B12 and vitamin C. These are two deficiencies. And if you're vitamin B12 deficient, I can't even go into the laundry list of issues that you're potentially going to have.
Right.
It is so incredibly long for vitamin B12. So yeah, what causes it? Here, I'm going to give you the first, here are the norms, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what I feel is a major contributor. So fatty or fried food, they say alcohol or coffee, taking medication. The irony that I take medication that gives me heartburn, so I have to take another medication. This is the whole definition of the drug industry as a whole.
I thought you were going to say the definition of stupid.
Right? I mentioned hiatal hernia. Obesity is a cause of this, right? Constipation can be a cause of this.
And ironically,
smoking,
it can cause constipation. So,
where do I get off this treadmill? I mean, really,
right.
where do you get off? So again, there's millions and millions and millions of people taking these medications that are not seeking or actively seeking out the actual remedy to their solution.
Dude, I didn't look it up, but $14 billion, that's higher than a lot of countries' GDP.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some third world GDP numbers right there. So, carbonated drinks is one thing that again, you do the list and Google's going to populate you, here are your causes. I go back to non-whole foods, things that you have in your pantry that don't rot or die. Your sugars, your refined sugars, your processed foods, your carbohydrates at a high level, overeating. We don't talk about that enough. I mean, what used to be the American diet? What is the American diet?
Well, what are the traditional foods that set it off? When you had it, if you had to point out one food that really triggered it the worst.
Candy.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely candy.
Huh.
Yeah. I could say alcohol at some level was also a problem.
Well, where I was going with that was I really thought I have no experience with it. I was really just thinking it's probably a combination of simple sugars and fats. Pizza, right? That type where a dish is loaded with sugar and with fat. But simple sugars alone were doing it.
Right. Yeah, I think you throw the alcohol in on top of the simple sugars and the refined carbohydrates, and you got major problems. I remember I went to the Florida-Georgia game when I was younger, and we rented an RV, and a bunch of buddies of mine went, and we had a 3-4 day. It was the first shock of what is acid reflux in Kevin's world.
Bender? Is that what?
It was like you ate like crap for 3-4 days, and you drank like crap for 3 or 4 days, and I had the worst possible heartburn ever. And the day that I had it, I ate sausage and all these other things, and the years after that I was like, oh, sausage causes acid reflux. Wrong. It was the 20 bad decisions I had made leading up to that had caused.
It does sound like a wonderful trip, though.
It was a lot of fun. But yeah.
So I wanted to. You mentioned the long-term use of this. I printed one of the it's the directional / warning label on one of these. And to your point, the recommended dosage is for 14 days. And then if symptoms come back, it says repeated 14-day courses. You may repeat a 14-day course every 4 months. 4 months.
Every 4 months.
Do not take for more than 14 days or more often than every 4 months unless directed by your doctor. That bullet point is actually in bold.
Right.
So they're on the label screaming at you.
They've
not
done
to
product liability elimination is what they've done.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Hey, we warned you. It's $14 billion industry, but we warned you.
I bet it's more now. I wish I had found more current data, but I don't think our metabolic health as a country has improved over the last 7 years.
Well, I mean, again, I don't know if you've ever had interaction with great-grandpa, your great-grandpa or anything like that, but I go back to 100 years ago. Did we have a problem 100 years ago with acid reflux without a significant stomach injury?
Dude, my grandfather, I think he ate whenever he wanted and whatever he wanted, and I don't think he ever got over 135, 40 pounds.
It's our food choices, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, bowls of candy sitting everywhere. There were bowls of candy, bowls of nuts.
Probably candy with real cane sugar.
I'm pretty sure it came out of what's that place in outside of Ocala? Russell Stover.
Yeah, Russell Stover.
It was
candy.
the ribbon candy, the
Made with real sugar, not high fructose corn.
probably back then it was.
Sucrose.
Yeah, no doubt. He let us chew on sugar cane. Point being is there was no severe elimination you had to do back then because really it was kind of rare. I mean, a piece of candy was rare, and he would sit it out, but I'd be surprised if you had one piece a day.
Right.
Yeah,
you don't sit down and eat a bag full of Reese's Pieces.
Or a drive-through meal that's 2,000 calories.
Right. And many people don't correspond that, right? They go through the drive-through and I didn't eat any sugar. Well, how much sugar was in that bread? How much? That's soda. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about that. That's
simple straight sugar.
Right.
Yeah. So we probably need to wrap this up soon. We got reprimanded by our team that we're getting too long. And it disrupts the upload and the flow and the whatever.
The woosah.
So did you have anything else big on this one to cover?
No. It's, again, these drugs are designed for very short term. And if you're taking it long term, you had better. This is Kevin's warning. You had better figure it out.
And the eliminations or the
elimination diet.
The process to get past it is fairly simple. Is just figure out what's triggering it and get it eliminated.
And you got to come off the drug in order to do that.
Right. So that was it, guys. Questions, comments, concerns, hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See ya.